Vice President Joe Biden's 44-year-old son was just kicked out of the Navy Reserve because he received a random drug test and failed. So apparently, he had cocaine in his system. You go get him, Biden. He said, quote, "It was the honor of my life to serve in the U.S. Navy, and I deeply regret and am embarrassed that my actions led to my administrative discharge. I respect the Navy's decision. With the love and support of my family, I'm moving forward." Now, in a way, this does kind of suck because, Hunter Biden's not a bad guy. Quote, "He currently heads the humanitarian group World Food Program USA while serving as a managing partner at a Washington, D.C. investment firm." Okay, that's slightly more douchey. "And an adjunct assistant professor at Georgetown University." Okay, slightly less douchey again. Not a terrible guy. And, of course, again, the punishment is getting kicked out of the Navy. And as you all know, I think drugs should be legalized anyway. So when anybody's in a situation like this where something bad happens as a result of drug use, I always feel kind of bad because I don't think it's as big of a deal as we've decided as a society it is. Or not even that, the laws have decided that from like 1920. Because today, public opinion is more on our side where we say, calm down, it's really not all that big a deal. But here's the aspect to the story I wanted to talk about. Why isn't Biden getting locked up? Now, as people snarkily pointed out to me earlier on Twitter, "You don't get locked up for testing positive for it, idiot." I know that. I've always known that. But my point is, where there's smoke, there's fire. How did he get the cocaine in his system? By not doing cocaine? By not having cocaine on him? And this isn't the first time this happened. Supposedly one other time he was caught with cocaine too, or tested positive for it too. So clearly it's somewhere around him. Okay, so why is it that he is not being locked up when he has possession of it? Let's stop and think about it. Well, he has power. He's the vice president's son, so he's not going to get locked up for that reason. And also, he's just not poor and black. Now, when I say that, some people think that's just a cheap liberal point, seeing racism and everything. But stop and think about it, because this really is stunning. It hit me earlier like a ton of bricks. How we've totally accepted and internalized this kind of a system where a guy like Bill Maher can go on TV every week and talk about how he smokes pot. Okay? We have celebrities who openly admit, the list is so long of all these different celebrities who admit, like, yeah, I smoke weed. Yeah, whatever, right? And we're just like, yeah, that's fine. Some of them go the extra step and get a medical card in California and say, I have a back pain or whatever, and they get it. But we all know that what they're doing is they're just taking it recreationally. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just talking about the reality that when some people have it, when you have a certain amount of status or power, or you're well-known enough, or you're in the government, or any of these other things, then it's like we look at somebody doing it and we go, oh, okay. Worst they get is you were discharged from the Navy Reserves. It's never your ass is getting locked up. But if your name is Jamal and you're in Harlem and you smoke weed or you do blow, what happens? You can spend years behind bars, and people do. And I think it's really, really interesting, and it needs to be brought up more often, that how do we just accept this? We just accept it. If a celebrity does drugs, they just do drugs. Well, what's the problem? But if a poor black person does it, lock them up, throw away the key. No, that's not okay. We have President Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. All of them did drugs. They all smoked weed. Obama admitted to doing a little bit of blow. George W. Bush, according to many reports, also did blow when he was younger. Okay. If they had gotten arrested, they possibly could have went to jail, that none of them would have been president of the U.S., all because they smoked some weed at some point or did a little bit of blow. That's not a reason to throw away somebody's life. Do you have any idea how hard it is for people to get a job after they've been to jail? It's next to impossible. So we need to reverse this, man. We need to go in the other direction, because it's one of those things where now we all know. We all know. We get it. We understand. this person is not doing anything wrong, whatever, just let it go, whatever. We get it, but the laws don't match that reality yet. I mean, they're starting to inch in the right direction, but they haven't fully gone in the right direction yet, and we need to get them there. I not only want to decriminalize, I want to legalize all of them, and I would release every single nonviolent drug offender in the United States of America because it's the right thing to do.